Hello, hello, Susan Jeremiah, friendly Avon representative. I was going to do happy birthday song again today. I already did one, a couple days ago, but I felt that I needed to do a new one today because I needed to share some affirmations with you as well. So it's something a little bit different from my usual, just sing the happy birthday song and a quick short word. So this is going to be a little bit longer. All right. So if you have a birthday today, or you're listening to this later on, but you just happen to stumble on it, I firmly believe that when things happen, they happen for a reason, and that God's timing is very important. You will hear me say that again. God's timing is important. Sometimes we as humans, we want it to happen right away. It's not how God works. So this is the birthday song for you first, and then I'm going to share with you some of the affirmations later, okay? A happy birthday to you, a happy birthday to you. May you feel Jesus near every day of the year. A happy birthday to you, a happy birthday to you, and the best year you've ever had. Abundant blessings on your birthday. May you experience God's blessings in fresh, new ways each day. Remember to celebrate life because we only have one life to live and we need to make the best of it. We write the chapters in our life, and we need to decide how we want to live our life. We can't just let society tell us how to live our lives. So these are some affirmations. I'm going to read it as I, right? But you can always change it to you. But I think it's more powerful when you say it for yourself. So when you listen to this, um, maybe you might want to say it back to yourself in the mirror because that will encourage you. Okay? So, I have the resources I need to enjoy an abundant life. I believe we all have a chance to live an abundant life. I expect great abundance flowing freely to me daily. We need to have that expectation. God has promised us abundant life and we need to step into it. We have choices that we can make. God has given us free will. We can choose how we want to live our life. There are things that we can change and there are some things that we cannot change. So this next one is good for that. I surrender to what is. So, if you can't change it, you can't change it. You let go of what was. But at the same time, I have faith in what will be. So you know that God is always working for your good. Even when you don't see it or you don't feel it, you know God is always working for your good. So sometimes we just have to breathe and let it go, right? You have to breathe in and let it go. And sometimes you just need to pause. And I find that whenever I am feeling stressed or discouraged or disappointed, it's a good time to go out in nature and just, breathe in the fresh air and look around at all the beautiful nature. And when you think of how nature doesn't take care of itself, God takes care of the nature, and we are God's highest creation, then God takes care of us more than He takes care of nature. So when you see, flowers coming up, or even the weeds, they come up through the cracks in rock and stone, and we all have life in us. We as humans have a chance to choose how we want to live our life, choose how we um, react, or how we take things in, and what we say, what we do. So with every breath that I take, I surrender to the highest good of all, because I know that God is always working for my good. I am relaxed and I trust in God's timing. Um, God's answers are yes, wait, and no. And the yes, we all love the yes, because we've been trained by society that we want everything instant. Wait's a little bit harder because we don't get it right away, and sometimes we get discouraged. But if we remind ourselves that God's timing is the best, then it's easier to accept the weights, because He knows what is good for us when it is good for us. Sometimes we want something, but it's not the right time yet. So we have to wait for it. And then when we get it, we go, oh, now I understand why. No is kind of related to that as well, because sometimes we want things and God's answer is no. Sometimes it's no, not yet, because it's not the right time. Sometimes it's no, it's not good for you, so I'm not giving it to you because it's going to hurt you rather than bless you. And no is hard. It's hard to accept. But if we always keep that in the back of our mind, that God is always working for our good, even when we don't see it or we don't feel it, that takes a big burden off your mind, and you can move on knowing that you can have peace. Jesus is the Prince of Peace, and when you can put your trust in Him, it makes life a lot happier, and you can breathe a lot easier. And so take some time to reflect on all God's goodness, especially on your birthday. It's a great time to do it. We should take time every day to reflect on what we're doing, how we're acting. I am becoming more conscious of pausing and asking myself why I think of certain things the way I do. And I'm finding that helps me to calm down a little bit more, because I most of you know I used to be a perfectionist, and I'm working on shedding that off, because nobody's perfect. Only Jesus was perfect. None of us are perfect. But we are each unique. We each have special gifts and talents that God has given us, so that we can bless the people that we come in contact with. So the people in our circle of influence, if we remember that people will come and people will go, and every time when we do something, and that's something I have to remind myself, that there will be people who will be for me, and at the same time there will be people who are against me, and I have to release it. I have to release the people who are not for me, because they're not meant to see what God has asked me to see, or they're not part of the plan, not part of God's plan for the best in my life. So I am learning to be calmer and take it one day at a time, and remind myself that God loves me, God has great plans for me, and if I just keep taking one step at a time each day, and always coming from a place of love, that makes life so much easier and better for everyone. So I hope you're encouraged by this. Please subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any of my thoughts. And I'm learning to share my thoughts more, and I'm hoping that as I share my thoughts, more people will be encouraged, and that you would feel that you're not alone. Because a lot of times we only share the good parts, and we don't share the bad parts, because part of it, I think, is because we don't want to discourage others, but the other part too is we don't want to feel people's pity. And also it's so important that we don't claim the bad things, right, or the bad feelings, or the bad things that people say. Anyway, so because we need to focus on the good. Bad things happen to good people, yes, and there's always a reason, but we can stop and pause, and take some time to just breathe deeply, and release the bad thoughts, and work on cultivating a positive mindset, because that's healthier for you. All right, so I hope you're encouraged. Have a great day, and till next time, subscribe so you don't miss any of my thoughts. God bless you.